I'm Lance Yelvington for CyberCountry. There's nothing like great advice from a good friend because they'll always give you straight up what you need to hear and why you need to hear it right at the right time. It's a place kind of like that where Josh Goodlett's music comes from. He bases a lot of what he tells his audience through his music on his experience back home in Indiana. Now he's going to tell us more about what he's got coming up and the tour ahead in this CyberCountry Minute.
Right now, I'm just kind of in awe. It's really surreal. I can't get over how blessed I am, to be able to be in these guys' presence who have written some number ones and written some Grammy Award-winning songs. So it's kind of just in awe.
Yeah.
I don't really know what to say, because it's. I never imagined I would be this far in a music career when I started playing in an ice cream shop in Georgetown, Indiana.
Well, that's another thing too. How much of your background in Indiana and Northern Kentucky, how much is that important to your career right now, writing music and getting it out there?
It's very important. I mean, the music that I like to write is true life music. I mean, it's not just something that comes out of my head. It's something that I've lived or somebody I've talked to has lived. And that's, I get a lot of my ideas from talk radio. That's where I get a lot of my ideas for songwriting.
And that's kind of scary in some people's minds, but good in other people's minds. From my point of view, I mean, it's kind of like you're keeping up with the way the world is and how people talk about their perspective on life as it is right now. Is that the way you see it?
Yes, sir. That is the way I see it.
So, just taking a look at the way life is and the way you put songs together, that's important to you, telling the true story, right?
The true story and painting a picture with the song lyrics is, wanting people to see where, Jamie Johnson did it almost the best that's been done with in color. I mean, he painted that picture where he took you to where he wanted you to go.
Yeah.
And that's what I try to do when I write songs.
Well, one thing I noticed about your ability is you write from the point of view as the guy next door who will give you the straight shot every single time. The song that gives a great example of that is Why You Gotta Be That Way. That's fantastic. What was the story behind that?
The story behind that song, I didn't write that song. Bobby E. Boyd, Philip Moore, and Brad Wolf wrote that song.
Yeah.
And the story behind it, to me, I felt like everybody knows that little love triangle in high school, or you grew up with, there's one girl in the neighborhood or one girl, in the area of the farm that you grew up, and you got a couple buddies and everybody, is in love with her, but she's only in love with one of them. So it was kind of, I've never heard it said that way before, so that was what drew me to that song.
Now, with your new album coming out, how tough was it to pick all the right songs for that album? Because I know you've got a lot to choose from, but going through all that stuff and making the right impression, which is an important thing, how tough was it going through that catalog?
It was very tough because there were certain things that I wanted to say and certain things I wanted my music to say, whether I wrote it or whether somebody else wrote it. I wanted to kind of paint a picture of who I was and where I stand and what my morals are as a person, as a human being, as a father, as a Christian, as exactly the type of person that I am. There was a lot that I wanted to paint with the songs that I chose.
That's another thing too. You mentioned being a Christian. There's a lot of people out there that they don't exactly make it evident the message that they've got, but it's pretty clear that you want to make sure that people understand where you come from. The foundation of your being Christian is important, and it's important and for you as a part of everyday ministry of living your life. Yeah, exactly.
It is very important to me. I feel like God gave me a gift, and honestly, to answer your question from earlier, I feel like that's the reason my career is taking off. Because I just let go and I do what I love, and I get to do what I love, and I'm very blessed for that, and I just let him do everything else. And that's kind of why I feel like my career has kind of started to pick up and make some momentum.
Yeah.
And get momentum created, because I just leave it to him.
Let me ask you about the creative community here in the Nashville area.
how important has been the support of the people around you? Because I know there's a lot of people involved in an artist's career, and especially when I look at your friends, especially on things like Facebook or something like that, you've got all these people that I'm like, oh yeah, he's pretty cool. Yeah, he knows him. Oh no, he already does know him. How about that one? Yeah, he knows him too. So how important is it for you to have those supportive people that know where you come from?
It's very important. I mean, we were just at Sam Ash doing another interview today, and there were people in there, and they were coming up. You're really good. That's a really, you're a great singer, blah, and it's what me and my guitar player were talking about. It's funny because down here, if you get that compliment, it's for real. I mean, it's because everybody in Nashville can play and sing. Everybody. Yeah. And so it's a big compliment when you get compliments like that from the industry and people that are in the industry. So I guess it's just man, I just feel blessed. That's about all. You're blessed.
You're blessed. You're good, but don't rest on your laurels, which obviously you're not doing. What is the reason why a person should come see one of your shows or pick up an album? What's a good reason why?
Because we give it all. We give it everything we got. I mean, we will not leave them wanting more. Well, actually, we will leave them wanting more, but we will not. They won't be disappointed. When they leave, they won't be disappointed. We will give them everything we got for, if the show calls for an hour, if the show calls for 4 hours, we will give them everything we have. We'll make sure they have a good time, and the music's the same way. I put everything, my heart and soul, in that music, and that's what they're getting. They're getting me. So that that's pretty cheap to get a person. $10 is pretty cheap to get a person. I'm Josh Goodlett. Make sure y'all come and check the website out. Come check us out at shows. Check out the merchandise. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and the website's right down here.